believe that. Here's how little a premium on fantasy this year. Nobody touched quarterbacks till the third round.
Yeah, well, no, that happens. That happens, Lee.
Well, and I'm going to tell you why I thought it was strange. The problem I've seen with fantasy football, we place too much. Look, unless you get Julio Jones, there isn't anybody who's consistent week in and week out.
And I'm gonna get this right for you. You did mean Deshaun Watson, correct?
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
Very good
Yeah, that's
quarterback.
my number one, number two.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Come on. And everybody else is replaceable. It's just who's hot at running back and wide receiver. That's it. That's fantasy football. I don't care what anybody says. I'll be there at the end because on the fly I can adjust. But you got to have solid quarterbacks and you got to have a solid defense. I think that's what wins fantasy football.
Yeah, they put a lot of stake in the running backs on fantasy football. I took Gurley number one in my league.
So you did play this year after all?
Yes.
So we didn't have one. Is that the one that Will playing this year?
No. Remember, we talked about this.
No, I wanted to play with Will this year, but
he didn't
such a
do
bitch.
One. Yeah, he didn't do one.
Disappointing. I guess it's time to talk about boxing. We've spent there's a lot of boxing talk.
That's right.
There's a lot of boxing talk. As always, no matter what Andrew said, I would normally use Boxing Scene. It's a great website. But since it's going to be out of business soon, go to pound4pound.com. They will be out of business soon.
Yeah. We're going to...
I love the Leprechaun Will Trio, who I will probably run into next weekend. And anybody who's listening to this, because I know how many media members listen to this show, feel free to pass that along to Will. Lee, are you going to the fight? I'm going as a civilian. There's no way you're going to see me down in the press corps. I'm going as a civilian. Lee, are you going to go see Korn play? Probably. I'm not. Sadly, like, the hottest ticket is going to be right after that fight for the after parties, Andrew, and I just know how crazy that concert's going to be at the Pearl, just based on the age group. It'll be crazy. But I digress. On this date, September 8th, Andrew, Oh, he didn't do a September 9th yet? He's only got on this date yesterday. How disappointing. I'm not going to do it because he hasn't updated his website today. He's probably still hungover from getting drunk at the forum. Come on. You already know this about Will. He's an alcoholic.
Oh, he stopped. No, he's not.
He pisses himself at the table all the time, Andrew.
No, he doesn't.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Why are you covering for this guy?
Well, you can't go around saying that. I won't say that about Will.
All right.
He's a good guy.
I wanted to keep this a secret for you, Andrew, but we have a special guest who's going to join us to discuss the HBO Superfly 3 card. Hold on. Let me get him. Harold, you're on. Andrew. Let's talk about last night's fights. From Inglewood. So Lee stops hitting me. Last night in Inglewood, Suzuki Samurai defeated the Mexican kid.
You sort of sound like if Beavis grew up. I love this. I love it. Huh? What are we talking about here?
Suzuki Samurai Matsuokyo.
Oh yeah, the first fight
against the Mexican kid.
Yeah.
Andrew, you know they weigh 114 pounds?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. When I was on the streets of Flatbush learning the sport of boxing, there was nobody 114 pounds, Andrew. I digress. Suzuki Samurai Hasasaki put on a dominating performance for 10 straight rounds against the Mexican kid. What did you think?
Yeah, exactly what you said. Dominating performance. Didn't really care, Lee. Didn't really care.
Commentary from any of those assholes.
Showtime was playing at this time. I was going back and forth. Had no interest in the first fight of HBO. Let me tell you guys, HBO has been on the bottom of every boxing night so far when they go heads up with someone. I do not remember. Maybe it's going to be this pay-per-view we have to purchase, but if they go up against ESPN, it's usually ESPN that has the better fights, and right now, Showtime/PBC is putting on the better fights than HBO. HBO, they're don't know their future. But go ahead. Let's go on with the HBO telecast. Fight number 2.
What did you think of the boys in their call of the shiitake mushroom Mexican guy fight? I mean, what did you think of Andre and Chip?
I thought they talked their way. Oh, and I'm on to the second fight, the Netes fight.
Donnie Filipino versus the Mexican kid.
Yeah, no, I think they were both Filipinos. Netes and Payate. What's his name?
Picante?
Yeah, Picante.
I know. All right, I'll believe you.
They're both from the Philippines. They're both from the Philippines.
They're both brown, Andrew. They're both brown.
This is true, too, yes. So, I thought HBO was doing fine. If you listen to the fight, HBO has this fight close all the way until the 12th round.
Yeah, well, that's because I know my shit, Andrew.
I hear you. No, Lederman, you did not.
Listen,
117,
Donnie
111.
Filipino was correct. Ashton Picante there.
Lederman was definitely mailing a scorecard before the fight was over. 117, 111, I did not see.
I was taken at gunpoint to be here for this show. I'm just saying. Which takes us to the main event of the evening.
Anyways.
At that point. Yeah, Donnie Filipino and Ashton Picadillo. That was kind of ridiculous, right?
I thought it was a close fight, Lee. I don't know what the outlash was at the end. In the first 6 rounds, they're talking about each guy.
Ashton Picante winning 18 rounds in that fight. I mean, on that one scorecard, Andrew. Seriously?
When you listen to me, you guys.
Are you getting paid by the Picante people?
Let me tell you
Roy
guys
Jones
something.
Jr. paying you?
Let me tell you guys something. Most of the time, when one fighter throws over 350 punches, jabs, power shots, total shots, you are going to have refs on all 4 sides of the ring. Sometimes they're not seeing what's landing when it's missing. I've told you guys this many times. Do not blame the refs. Blame the fighter that allowed the guy across the ring to throw 300 more shots than him. That's who I blame. I had the fight close. I did agree Netes was taking rounds off. It looked like he was becoming a power puncher all night. All HBO was saying is how old he looked, how he looked like he was just going through the motions. Then the scorecards are read, and it's like a total, this is wrong. It wasn't wrong. I don't want to see the fight again. They should do the fight, a rematch in the Philippines.
They're going to do the fight again, Andrew.
But I don't know if HBO wants it.
Did you know, Andrew, that I wear a diaper and I stay at home and watch the fights on TV?
Netes should do that fight in the Philippines. Actually train.
Andrew, I'm going to let you in on a secret, right? I just shit myself right now.
So
Lee's going to have to clean that up.
Yeah, so whatever the case, I like activity, Lee. And sometimes refs get it wrong when they see one guy's just punching and the other guy is like HBO said, going through the motions. Literally, the 12th round, in my opinion, was the only round that Netes actually looked like he wanted to win that fight. Everything else, he's just sparring. Well, that got you a draw.
Which takes us to the main event. My gardener, Juan Estrada. Did you know that, Andrew? That's my gardener. Juan Estrada.
Just a boring night. It was just a boring night. Lee, then
Felipe, whatever.
Yeah, just call him Felipe. I'm just going with Felipe. I have a cousin named Felipe, so it's easy.
Damn Mexican names, Andrew. I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
Boring night. Boring night on HBO, especially because it came after the Showtime telecast. Once again, there's HBO saying, this is a showcase fight. Estrada should be showing more. It looks like he's going through the motions. It looks like he didn't train. I mean, I don't know where HBO is right now. Who's doing these matchmaking?
I thought the best part of the night was when I butchered Sasaki Yamamoto's name.
Yeah,
I had to say it twice.
Yeah, he kind of laughed too when he first tried. He was like, "I'm not going to get this."
Shiitake mushroom, whatever the fuck his name is.
Hey, are you interested in Superfly 4?
Yeah, well, I just put a bullet into the back of you want to hear? I just put a bullet into Lederman's head.
Yeah.
Which will sound really cool on the replay because there were sound effects, Andrew. Here's another sound effect that only I can hear that you guys are listening to that Andrew will hear on the replay, which I just find great. That's the best. It's a DJ horn. I think I'm going to put it after every one of my zingers from here on out. I so loved HBO's telecast of listening to those two fucking dipshits try to convince themselves about fighters and what they're into.
Yep.
It was, and then it's like phenomenal. It was like their conversations were so crazy that Andre stayed out of them. And then when it got too far, Andre would jump in and go, "I totally disagree with you." The number one word said by Andre Ward, "I totally disagree with you."
I like when Jim said in like the 9th round of the Estrada fight or the Netes, he goes, "It's like he took the round off and still won it."
Yeah.
This is
the whole taking rounds off in the later rounds bullshit happened.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, God.
By the way, for those of you wondering why Harold isn't joining us for the rest of the show, and I just put a bullet in his head sound effect, he will be back. I'm just telling you, it's really hard on my throat to do Harold Lederman for that long. It's like he's gargled glass. And I'm not doing him really.
You don't even have to put a bullet in him. We just stun him. He drops. He's so old. You hit a stun gun on that man, you're damn near borderline cardiac arrest already.
He's clearly at home. He's phoning this shit in.
Yeah, no, that 117, 111. No, didn't see that.
It's almost like Bob Arum at this point. Every joke I do about Bob Arum and Harold Lederman to me, I think, are the same impression. Except Bob is always asleep in my mind because I've actually sat at the table with Bob and he looks like he's asleep most of the time.
I don't know if it's not good TV to actually tell the fans the truth about how one man is more active than the other and how judges sit on all 4 different sides of the ring, meaning sometimes they don't see everything. That's just human error, right? That's gonna be there.
Here's my problem with the HBO telecast. I really hate Lampley, and I really, it's well documented how much I hate the HBO crew. And I feel bad because Andre Ward can't get in and talk because those two dipshits talk so much that Andre Ward is...
Especially Max.
Yeah, Max Kellerman is literally out of control. I think you honestly need Roy because his personality is so much bigger and tougher. I don't think Andre's sure of himself yet, so he's not all the way
Andre's still thinking about fighting. You see that too? You see how he was like still thinking about coming back, even threw a few of those liners in there last night? I mean, yeah, I think you're totally right. Roy Jones was about as close to a Emmanuel Stewart as you get. What I loved about Roy is he can see things early, tell you they're going to affect the fighter late, and then it happens right in front of your eyes. That is a good TV commentator, right? Fight caller. These are what people, the fans, the average fans, they're looking at when you tell them that.
The average fan doesn't give a shit. They're listeing to Max and
I think Emmanuel Stewart
have crazy conversations.
I think Emmanuel Stewart, guys that can call things early and then watch them play out. I think it's better for the fight. I really do. It gives you something to watch, something to look for. Even if you're the guy going for the underdog and he tells you something, because the man, him and or he used to, rest in peace, but him and like Roy Jones, because they get it right so often, it almost brings your interest in the fight up. To see if he's going to be right again. The other two dingbats, they literally are just kind of going with the flow. They say what's out there, what's on their mind, what the fighter has done in the past. One thing I hate about the calling the fights right now in the sports world, There's too much opinions going on